Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up here in just a couple of days time, we are of course going to see the season 3 update go live in Warzone and Modern Warfare 3. And with it, we're going to see a ton of changes, a ton of new content drop in the form of new maps, modes, weapons, a new battle pass, all the usual stuff there. And with the update itself, obviously, we're going to have a handful of patch notes release for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. And today, we got a bit of a sneak peek as to what to expect with these Season 3 update patch notes, some in the form of bug fixes, some in the form of gameplay updates, some in the form of new content and or features. So lots to break down today as we do get into it all. If you enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It really does help the channel grow. And if you are new here or you simply have not subscribed yet, every single day I got you covered with all things you need to know about Call of Duty. So feel free to hit that subscribe button to guarantee you're always up to date with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, and everything like that. But we're starting first here on the Trello boards. We obviously have our main Modern Warfare 3 Trello board that covers multiplayer, zombies, and then some of the global issues. Then also the Warzone Trello board, which is, you guessed it, Warzone specific. And we get a handful of previews here as to the various different bugs and glitches and other gameplay updates that they're working on. And some of these actually are tagged as fixed scheduled, which means they should be guaranteed to be in these Season 3 patch notes. Other things have been around for some time, and usually the major seasonal updates are what attack the vast majority of the issues listed on the Trello. So pretty much everything here we should expect to see in the patch notes come Wednesday. However, in addition to all these, the patch notes will have way more changes as well. Keep in mind, the Trello boards are not every single thing they're looking into. It's just some of what they decide to share. But initially, the globally known issues here, one, players may encounter some scenarios where the in-game menus, the UI and such are just bugged. Sometimes they're glitched out. You can't get out of them. You have to like restart your game to correctly get back into the main menu. Sometimes they're just not showing the correct data. I've had it where my after action report just doesn't show anything, or various different UI and menu glitches like that. So we should see some updates to that with Season 3. And then a much more important one, the latency widget that appears in the top left. You can obviously turn this on console or PC and see what your current ping is to the game that you're in. Well, ever since Season 2 Reloaded, across the board, the latency widget has been broken. It just says NA or not available. Now, you can still go into your menu and go into, I think it's like the account tab or the interface tab or whatever, and it'll show you your ping to any given match that you're in. But obviously, you don't want to have to stop what you're doing in game and open up the menu to check your ping. You should just be able to see it in the top left. So that not being information that we've had for half a season now, pretty obnoxious, especially if you feel like the lobby's connection just isn't all that great. Maybe you're kind of stuttery or you feel like you're lagging. It's like, okay, maybe it's because I'm on 110 ping. Oh wait, I can't check. I could be on 110, I could be on 14. I just don't know right now. So that's definitely one that should be updated here with Season 3, and it'll be nice to actually have that back. Now, looking at some of the multiplayer specific issues that they've got listed on the Trello board, still on the ranked play menu, the hardpoint tracking timer for how long you've been on any given hill can be buggy, so that's still being investigated here. But Treyarch's usually on top of the various different ranked play updates, so hopefully that'll be fixed here with Season 3. They're still looking into an unintended object in the tank garage on Quarry in specific. Then also they do have a guaranteed fix scheduled for players becoming stuck after firing a Wilson. So just a heads up, if you are using the Wilson streak right now, it can be buggy, and if you've run into that, have no fear, that one is going to be updated here soon. Then the zombies tab, I'm not gonna lie, doesn't have too much going on, but what is on it is very important. Unfortunately, this one's just been here forever. They're monitoring that some players are losing their acquisition stashes after an exfil or when you go into the zombies menu, and the fact that they've been monitoring this for like well over a month at this point is concerning because of how detrimental it is when you lose your entire stash. So hopefully this changes from, monitoring to fix released with Season 3 here. They're also still investigating player containment levels being knocked back or reset at certain points. Another pretty big issue there that does affect gameplay in a pretty drastic way. Obviously, player containment levels being a relatively new thing probably takes some time to figure out the exact cause of that bug, but Season 3, again, being a major update, should have a lot of zombies related patch notes, and I'd expect to see mentions of both of those issues there. We now jump over to the Warzone side of things, and again, they do have the global tab listed here, and it's the same latency issue with the NA ping in the top left. And then they're also always investigating crashing and stability reports. I'm not sure why that's still on here because it's something that we see in every single patch note update anyways. But the more specific Battle Royale, Resurgence, Plunder, and Lockdown tab does have a handful of things that we should see updated here in just a couple of days' time. There is currently a bug with weapon swapping, plating, pretty much doing anything with the triangle or the Y keybind on your controllers. When you go and try and interrogate an enemy player, if you stop, it sometimes prevents you from swapping weapons or putting on plates. It's kind of a really obnoxious but super niche bug. That one should be updated here soon. In the final elimination kill cam, they're aware that smokes are not showing up correctly, but this also goes for just general kill cams. There will be a smoke in game, and say you got shot through it, you're like, how did this guy see me? And you look at the kill cam and you're like, wait, he's not seeing smoke. Why is that? It's just a glitch with kill cams. They don't show smoke. It's been a problem in several CODs before, but they are aware that in the final kill cam specifically, it might be making players look a little bit more sus than intended there. So they are looking into that. On PC in specific, there's a whole issue where your game kind of just starts looking like Play-Doh. I get this all the time. It's a low res texture issue where like the bushes don't render in, the trees don't render in, the entire ground is all pixelated and messed up. Really annoying to run into for sure. So they are going to update the graphics there. Then also another huge one, armor plates just not dropping. You can sometimes loot them out of chests correctly. Sometimes you'll have a few drop from enemy players that you take out. But for the most part, especially on Urzikstan, armor plates are not dropping the correct amounts. A player that you take out could have 15 armor plates, for example, in their inventory, and they drop 3. Like as a squad, it's really rough trying to go through and push through squads. You wipe them. Okay, let's armor up. Anybody got any extra plates? Not really. I only found like 2 through the 4 bodies that we just looted. So another big problem there. But like I said, the season 3 patch notes should include references to pretty much all those issues and then plenty more as well. You know, talking weapon updates, various different changes to attachments, other features, and balancing things like that. And I'll be covering the full patch notes on Wednesday right as they drop. So stay tuned for all that. But outside of some of the gameplay updates and bug fixes there, we also have several other things that'll be referenced in the season 3 patch notes that have been previewed through various different blogs or other intel drops. So looking at a handful of the more significant changes or standout changes here, the Gulag is actually going to be updated here in season 3 with a new event that allows both players in the Gulag to escape if they care enough to work together. Basically, it's going to be the climb and punishment gulag event, so it won't happen every gulag, but there's a chance you get this where 2 ladders actually drop down and both players can take these and escape out of the gulag. You obviously have to talk to the other player in the gulag and say, hey, don't shoot, let's both get out of here for free. You could obviously betray someone if you wanted to, but that'll be an interesting event for sure. Also, they're going to be adjusting the health with a new public event as well. This will be specifically for Rebirth Resurgence modes, but there's going to be a public event known as Heavy Armor, which actually gives you basically an extra plate. You go from 150 total plate health to 200 total plate health on top of your base 150 health there. So instead of the max health being 300, in this case it would be 350, which is certainly going to change up the time to kill. Again, this is not something that's going to happen every single game. It will just be a random event, but it's going to be pretty game changing when it does take place. Obviously, you're going to have to worry about landing more shots to fully take out a player there for sure. So I'm really curious to see how exactly that's going to impact things across the board. We're also going to see an additional Champions Quest or Nuke Quest go live here. So in addition to it obviously already being available on Battle Royale on Urzikstan and Battle Royale on Vondel, there's going to be a Resurgence Champions Quest available on Rebirth Island. Similar idea though, you collect the various different elements, you put them into the location, and then you detonate the nuke, you win the game, you get some cool rewards off of that. Going to be very hectic going for this in Resurgence, obviously, where players can continuously respawn, but adds a new challenge to the game and a couple of extra rewards to go for as well. We are also going to see a new piece of equipment drop that's going to be, I think, a pretty big game changer, all things considered. It's the utility box, and instead of this being just ammo or just armor, it's both. So if you really need each of those, you're like, hey guys, which one do we need more right now, ammo box or an armor box? You can get a utility box and you'll get the best of both worlds. Really looking forward to that one, saving me in several situations in game. Another new gameplay update we're going to see referenced in the patch notes, and something I think a lot of players will be talking about right away, is the variable time of day day and weather available on Rebirth Island with Season 3. So with this, you're going to be able to play Rebirth. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, at different times of day and during different weather. So at times you could be playing standard sunny Rebirth. At times you could be playing Rebirth as like a sunset where the lighting is a little bit different, or an overcast Rebirth that's a bit more rainy and foggy here. I'm not gonna lie, not a fan of the fog. I don't like it on Vondel. I really don't want to see it on Rebirth either, but this will be, again, a random event one. It's not gonna happen every single game. I think the majority of matches are probably gonna be like just the basic clear skies there, but time of day variables are coming with Season 3 specifically for Rebirth. Another kind of interesting feature coming with Season 3 is the squad landing feature that I really think casuals, probably more relaxed players, are going to utilize more than maybe sweaty players who land at different spots and just try and loot up and go for kills real quick. This is basically incentivizing landing together as a squad, and it's rewarding you for doing so. So basically, by working together and landing in the same spot or roughly in the same area, you get various different rewards. You know, every single squad member is going to get XP if you mark a certain spot on the map and everyone on the team lands at that ping. If you land as a squad, you're also going to get sizable XP and cash bonuses if everybody lands in the same general radius as well. So basically, if you stack up early game, someone pings, hey, let's go land at this house, and everyone lands in close proximity to one another, you're going to be rewarded for it. XP, cash bonuses, even supply drop UAVs as well, which makes starting off early game a little bit easier for sure. So like I said, I think that's a feature that more casual players already do utilize because they do land together, they do loot together, whereas sweatier players oftentimes split off and just gear up on their own and then sort of reconvene for a loadout drop once they've got the cash. So an interesting one there for sure. We also have an anniversary update debuting with Season 3 here via a free gift pack. We actually saw this teased a little bit ago from Raven, but we've got some new clarification on this. And essentially within this anniversary gift pack, you're gonna get a blueprint or a weapon skin that's got all these stickers and locations and you know, pieces of history from Warzone all on top of it, like kind of spammed. Then there's also, it seems like, individual stickers and decals you can apply and spam on any weapon of choice as well. So handful of free content that you can use to decorate your weapons as you deem fit. And then lastly here with the early patch notes and the update previews, we know that with Season 3 we are going to see a new level cap introduced, or more prestiges introduced. So we'll no longer be stuck at 450. Just after a couple of weeks we'll all be stuck at 650 instead. So it is increasing by another 200 levels. Pretty standard for a seasonal update. Obviously every time you go through and you get another 50 additional levels, you do end up unlocking a handful of new rewards, some calling cards and whatnot, ultimately a new weapon blueprint as well once you hit the level cap for Season 3. But yeah, all that being said, those are all of the early patch notes and previews for some of the gameplay updates and new features coming in Season 3 for MW3 and Warzone. That's gonna wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. And if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out to guarantee you're always up to date with all things going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.